guys, it's Grace. Welcome to my channel. If you can't tell by what I'm wearing today, I'm wearing my Mickey ears, which means that we're going to be talking about another Disney video. Yay! Yay! Okay. Today we're going to be talking about the Fastpass, and we're going to be talking about Magic Kingdom Fastpasses. So if you don't know what Fastpass is, it is actually a pass that you can get from the Magic Kingdom, or actually any of the Disney parks. Even Disneyland has this, that you can go into the Fastpass line, which basically cuts your wait down by at least 30 minutes to maybe 3 hours. It depends on which Fastpass you pick and which attractions you pick for your Fastpass. But today we're going to be talking about which ones you should get when you go to the Magic Kingdom. Now I know that Disneyland has still the old Fast Passes, which you put your ticket in and you get a Fast Pass time that you can go to. But Disney World actually updated all of their Fast Passes. They took out the old ones completely, which I think is great. There's pros and cons to this, though. So they took out all of the old ones. They do have this thing called Fastpass Plus. Now, the thing with Fastpass Plus is that you must register your ticket online, ticket or Magic Bands online. I know that they're trying to get rid of tickets completely, but there are still some people that just buy the one-day ticket because it actually costs money to buy a Magic Band. But Magic Bands are kind of cool. It's kind of like a souvenir and an attraction ticket in one, which I think is pretty cool, but I actually like the tickets just because you can hang them up, make a little memory book. We actually do scrapbooking with them, so that's why I like the tickets, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so Fastpass Plus. You register it online, you pick the attractions that you want to go to, you can choose a time and a place. The only downside to the Fastpass Plus is that you can only pick 3 attractions for one park a day. So if you do have a park hopper, you can go to many different parks in one day. You can actually hit them all in one day, but the problem with that is that you can't fast pass different attractions in different parks, which is the downside. Yeah, and you can only go for those specific times. They do give you an hour in between, like a regular fast pass, but you can only choose 3. I know if you're kind of a Disneyland person, there is a way to work the Fast Pass in your favor. Like, a lot of people go hit the most popular ride first and then get that Fast Pass and then wait in line for another one, which means that you can actually get multiple Fast Passes other than 3 in a day in Disneyland. But Disney World, you can only do 3 attractions. So today I'm going to be talking about the 8 attractions that you must fast pass if you want to get on. Very rarely are these attractions that I'm going to be talking about less than an hour. Very rarely. And if you actually do see them less than an hour, I highly suggest getting in line. And even if you do have a fast pass, that just means that you can go on it twice, which I've never complained about going on rides twice. But these are the 8 that you must fast pass if you want to get on them, if you have even a chance to get on them. I highly suggest that if you know which parks you're going to, which days, you should probably fast pass the attraction before you get into the park. So today we're going to be talking about the Magic Kingdom one. Now, my number 1 Magic Kingdom park that you must fast pass is Peter Pan's Magic Flight. The problem with this ride is that it is a popular children's ride. If you have a kid, they are going to want to go on this ride. It's located in a prime spot in Disney World's Magic Kingdom. It's right across from It's a Small World, and it's right near where Cinderella's Carousel is. So it's right where all the kids want to be. Now, this ride can go all the way up to 150 minutes. That's minutes. That's longer than an hour 30. That is 150 minutes. Yeah? So this is probably the most popular ride just because it's actually really cool. What it is that you go on the Jolly Rogers, well, a pirate ship like the Jolly Rogers, and you start to see that the track disappears. And soon you're flying over the house of the children. Then you're flying over Neverland. Then you're flying over the lagoon with the mermaids. It's an awesome ride. And it's blacklight, so anything white that you wear will show up. And you know kids love that. They really do. So I highly suggest this ride just because it's never under 60 minutes. And even if you see, oh, the line's not that long, we should just get in the line. This has an inside line. A lot of Disney attractions started making an outside line and still an inside queue with an interactive PlayStation for each of these rides. The problem is that a lot of kids actually get stuck at the interactive because they want to play with Tinkerbell or they want to hear the chimes. So this ride actually gets pretty long in the line because a lot of kids do go on this and they do get distracted by it. So that's my number one to Fastpass. It's an extremely, extremely long line, but it's a lot of fun for the kids, and I like to go on it. So a lot of fun for kids at heart too. My number two would be the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is actually a new roller coaster for Disney World. The cool thing about this ride is that it's an actual roller coaster, but they have separate carts, like a mine train, which swing individually from the actual roller coaster. It's kind of hard to describe, but think of one of those swaying boats that are in like a mine train in Snow White's movie, Snow White's and the Seven Dwarfs. If you think of where they put the diamonds when they put them all away, that's exactly what you're sitting in. You are sitting in one of the diamond tubs, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty short ride for a 90-minute wait, so I personally will not go on that ride unless it is a 30-minute wait. I refuse to get onto the ride just because that's a long wait for like a 30-second ride. That's me though. But I'm usually pretty lucky and I usually get the fast pass for it, or I do find sometimes in the day that it's actually a 30-minute wait. But this is a very popular ride just because it is one of the newer rides in Magic Kingdom. So I highly suggest to fast pass this ride. It's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bad-mouthing it. I'm just giving you the pros and cons, and you can take it or leave it. My number 3 is Space Mountain. I'm going to tell you right now, all of the mountains are on this list, just because the mountains are the more intense rides in Magic Kingdom. Space Mountain is an space rocket where you go into space, and it's a roller coaster. It's a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite rides, even though I kind of feel like I'm going to get my head chopped off just because you're in complete darkness and all you see are some of the bars. I do suggest that if you have these little beauties on this ride, you're going to definitely want to take them off just because you don't want them to get flung off or even knocked off. So I do suggest to fast pass this ride because very rarely, like I said, it's below 60 minutes. If it is below 60 minutes, I do suggest to get in line for it. This is one of those rides that has a long inside queue. So, you definitely want to be cautious of that too. So if you see a line all the way backed up to past the bars for starting it, you're going to want to hold off on this ride for a little bit. But yes, this ride does get below 60 minutes, which I like the fact of that just because it's a little bit older. And a lot of people aren't like super need to do this first. But yes, it is a lot of fun, and I like to do this especially in the nighttime just because it gets extra dark inside. Sometimes when it's light, you do see a little bit of the light shining through the cracks, but you definitely do want to go on this ride. So my next ride / attraction on this list is Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain is one of the only water rides in Magic Kingdom. By water rides, I mean the ones that you will get wet on and you will stay soaked until the end of the day. It's a lot of fun. I like this, especially around fireworks time, just because you hit the highest point in the entire Magic Kingdom and you get to see fireworks popping off of the castle, which I think is pretty cool, but you won't see the entire show from there, so if you need to see fireworks, you might want to skip this ride. But it's a pretty cool attraction to go to at night. It does go very high, it does go pretty steep, and you will get extremely wet. Once again, this ride will not go under 60 minutes as well, but sometimes you do see wait is only 30 minutes. If you do see that, I would definitely go in. Now, most of this queue is outside. Very small portion of it is inside, so if you see that nobody is outside, you may still want to get in line for this. Anyway, moving right along. My next attraction for our Disney World Magic Kingdom ride Fastpass is Big Thunder Mountain. I love this ride. It is one of the smoother roller coasters in Disney World. Out of all of the parks in Disney World, I love this ride. My mom loves this ride. My stepdad loves this ride, and a lot of them have back problems. So if you do want to go on a roller coaster, but you're kind of in a lot of pain, this is a smoother ride. There are parts of it that have a click, 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 clickety feel because you are in the Wild West. But it's not to the point that you will be injured or you're going to have a lot of backlash. This is probably one of my favorite roller coasters besides Rock and Roller Coaster. But Rock and Roller Coaster you can really get hurt on. So anyway, I do like this one. This one's a little bit faster than most of the other rides here. But it's not as scary as I would say, I guess, Space Mountain is. Just because it's not in the dark, you don't have to worry about what's going up next. You can see what's coming up next. It's a lot of fun. I love it so much. I can go on this ride like 18 times. This ride does get below 60 minutes, but it is a long wait if you're waiting out in the sun. This ride does not have an inside queue. The only inside queue that it has is when you are about to get onto the ride. Which is the downside, because if you are waiting in line for it, you're waiting in the line outside in the hot Florida sun or in one of those crazy rainstorms that they have. So this one is kind of it doesn't get that long of a line, but you're still gonna want to fast pass it just because of where the line is located. Fun fact for this ride actually was in Magic Kingdom, in Disney World, and in Disneyland. This ride in Disneyland had a nest of rattlesnakes that found refuge there just because it is that lifelike to the deserts in Arizona and the Wild West. So that's actually pretty cool that if it could fool a nest of rattlesnakes, it could probably fool you. So yes, fun fact about that ride. My next attraction you must fast pass is actually not that bad of a wait, just because it is all inside of the inside of the line, but sometimes it can get extremely long. So I do suggest to Fastpass the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It's one of the most popular rides. It's a classic. It's been in Disneyland, Disney World, and it is considered to be one of the most classic and one of the most fun. It's a little water ride. It's not fast at all. It does have a slight dip in the log flume. I guess that's what we would call it. That's what I would consider it to be, like a log flume ride. But yes, it does have a small dip. You're not going to get wet at all, so you don't have to worry about bringing anything important on there and getting wet. But I suggest this because sometimes during the busier times of the season, it could be a 120-minute wait, which nobody wants to do that, even for Pirates of the Caribbean. But yes, Fastpass. You have to Fastpass all of the classic Disney rides. The next one is the Jungle Cruise. This ride is actually a pain in the butt to get on, because when I tell you anticipation will kill you for this ride, it really does. You sit in this line where every time you turn the corner, you're like, oh, okay, we're almost there. No. You'll turn another corner. Oh, we're almost there. No. You are not there until you pass like 9 different corners. It's a pain in the butt to wait for. So the problem with this is that there's absolutely nothing to really occupy your time with. You're just basically sitting and staring at other people, staring at you, staring at people outside, staring at people on the ride. So it's a pain in the butt, to say the least. But it's a fun ride. You actually have skippers, which bring comic relief. They are real people, which is kind of cool. They tell you jokes while you're riding the ride. And you're like in an actual jungle cruise. I like it. It makes me giggle. They have a lot of what I like to call dad jokes on there. So yeah, I would suggest to Fastpass this ride if you want to go. I like it. A lot of kids do like it. You will not get wet on this ride, even though it's kind of a water ride. Yes, so I do suggest Jungle Cruise to be one of the more classic. I think that they should do an update on it, though. But I do love the Jungle Cruise. My next and one of my last suggestions to get a Fastpass for is Winnie the Pooh, especially if you have children. This is a lot of fun. You actually sit in a honey pot. And you go through Pooh's adventures, and you get to see the heffalumps, and you get to see him stuck in a tree looking for honey. This one is a long wait just because it is a kids ride, and you know the majority of Disney World patrons are families with young children. So I do suggest this to Fastpass this ride. But if you don't, it's really not that bad of a wait. There are a lot of activities for kids to do. There's actually a rabbit's garden patch where they can play on bongos. They have little carrots that they can look at. And they also updated it to have interactive honey cams. So you can make honey, appear, do designs with it. It's pretty cool. It is a long wait, though. I'm going to throw this last one in. I know that was 8, but I'm just going to throw this last one in just because if you can get it, it's kind of cool to do. But you can actually now Fastpass fireworks for all of the parks in Disney World. And Magic Kingdom does have one of the best fireworks in the entire world, and they use the most fireworks in a firework display in the entire world. So the Wishes fireworks is specific to Disney World in the Magic Kingdom. I do suggest to Fastpass this just because this is a prime spot. Unless you want to wait like an hour and a half of just sitting in a spot waiting for fireworks to start, which a lot of people do. But a lot of people want to ride the rides and still be able to see the fireworks. Granted, you will be able to see fireworks everywhere in the Magic Kingdom, but if this is your first time going to the Magic Kingdom, you're definitely going to want to find a spot. An actual spot. Get your popcorn before you go, your cotton candy, whatever you need. Get your snacks, sit in your spot, and just enjoy the fireworks. And they did just add this on, so it's perfect. It's right in front of the castle. You'll get great video, great pictures, FaceTime your family while you're watching fireworks, and you don't have to fight the crowds for it, which I think is awesome. This one you do not have to pay for, but they do also have a dessert party for different fireworks. I know that they have the fireworks in Epcot, that you can get a dessert party in, where is it? I think it's in the France Pavilion. Not positive. I'll check on that. They have the one in Magic Kingdom that you can pay for, and you sit right where the Tomorrowland begins, and they have the soundtrack booming, and you can sit, you can eat dessert. And then they also have one in Hollywood Studios, the Fantasmic fireworks. So I think that they're really cool, but it's kind of expensive, especially if you're just going there with your family. Your kids are tired and they definitely want to see the fireworks. It's $60 to pay for one of the fireworks parties, $60 a person, but you do get drinks, you do get a dessert, and you do get prime seating for the fireworks. Disney really made it smart and banked in on that. But they do have these free experiences that you can Fastpass, which I think is cool. Sorry about that random phone call. It's okay. So that's what I do suggest to Fastpass for Disney World's Magic Kingdom. I will be doing a series about Fastpass. This is where our Magic Kingdom. I know that if you are going to Disney World and you do want to go for 1 day, 2 days, Magic Kingdom is the most sought after one. I do suggest that if you only have 1 day to do Disney, Magic Kingdom is a must. Especially if you have little kids. So these are my 8/9 because of the fireworks to Fastpass. If you have any questions or if you feel like I missed anything, please comment below, message me. I am up to suggestions. I know that I did miss a lot of rides on this list, but that's because a lot of those rides are an easy wait, or you're not really going to miss a lot if you miss out on the fast passing. But yeah. So if you have any suggestions or if you feel like I missed anything, just comment down below. I'll be happy to include them in a next video. Alright, thanks. Bye.